Do you like my shades? I do. Hey guys, it's Katie and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a little overdue. I had a bit of a crazy week. It was my last week of undergrad, which is like really hard to believe, and my computer broke because someone spilled water on it, so I had to buy a new one. So that was fun. But anyways, I'm here now in my pretty much completely empty room, so that is why there is an echo if there is one, and why the background is just this. But that doesn't matter. I'm just here to film a video, and that is my monthly makeup for the month of May. I've decided that I'm going to start doing monthly makeup unless they like really don't change, but like that way you can see what products I'm going to be using in the month, because usually at the beginning of the month I can kind of tell what I'm going to be using throughout most of it. So that is today's video. I hope that you enjoy it, and well, let's get started. So to get started, I definitely want something for summer that's very light, not going to feel oily and greasy and heavy on my skin, and also something that has SPF in it because it's sunny and I will be outside a lot. So, you know, you want to protect the skin. So what I'm using is the Naked Skin One and Done Hybrid Complexion Perfector from Urban Decay. I picked this up recently in the shade Light, and I really have been liking it so far. It's super light, super easy to use, and it just gives a little bit of coverage without making your face look cakey or feel heavy or anything like that. So how I've been doing this is actually not even using a primer. I did use moisturizer and all of that stuff, but I've just been taking it and I do like a pump at a time, just straight onto the brush. I'm using the optical blurring brush from Urban Decay, and I just place that kind of all over. I use about a pump per half of my face to begin with, and I just buff that in. And as you can see, it's super light and super sheer, so if you want like a lot of coverage, this probably isn't going to be for you, but I am a big fan of it. See how it just like evens out the skin tone without like covering up your skin? I don't know, I really like it. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It looks pretty orange when it gets pumped out, but because it's so sheer, I can still get away with it. So that is one pump for each side of the face, and then I just take one last pump, again, just onto the brush. And I dot that mostly over the cheeks where I want extra coverage, kind of on the forehead, just, yep, and then down my neck. And then I just kind of buff that in as well. I don't worry too much about covering any blemishes because that is what concealer's for. So that is just the base done. And then what I do after that is just conceal any blemishes, and I like to use my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Vanilla. It's very close to my skin tone and it lasts so long, and it doesn't cake up over blemishes. So this is like my favorite spot concealer. Got some breakouts occurring right now, so. And then I just blend that out with a beauty blender, just like ever so slightly, to make sure that it keeps the coverage. But I feel like the beauty blender is kind of important to use because since it's such a light foundation, BB cream type product, you don't want any harsh lines. And plus this helps to even out if there's any streakiness from the brush, because sometimes I still end up with that with this product. But if you just take a beauty blender and go over it, that's not an issue anymore. So as you can see, this is just very light, like evening out of the skin tone. Oh my god, I forgot to blend my neck. That's so funny. And then as my highlight concealer, I've been using the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Concealer, and I just have mine in the shade Light Warm. I think that maybe next time I'm gonna try Light Neutral or Cool or whatever the more pink tone one is, because this is like pretty yellow. But I do really like the consistency, and I don't really dislike the color enough to like return it or exchange it or anything. I just prefer more pink tone, but it's okay. Then I'm just blending that out with this as well. It really does brighten up under the eyes though, since it's yellow. And this you want to blend really well as well, because it's a pretty complete coverage concealer. That's what it's called. So you need to like make sure that you blend it in with the lighter coverage. And while I'm still using cream products, I'm just going to take my contour stick. This I've been using for a while, and I know I'm going to continue to use it throughout the month of May because it's so long lasting and so easy to use. And I feel like this just blends really nicely over top of the one and done. And once that is done, I'm ready to set my face. Of course, using the RCMA No Color Powder. This is just my favorite powder now. I really can't see myself using anything else. And especially because I did the contour and highlight, I don't want to cover up with any kind of other powder. That's it for the complexion, so I'm just going to move on to my eyes and prime as usual using MAC's Painterly Paint Pot, and then I'm just going to set that using the same powder. Now I've been feeling even more minimal than usual with my eyeshadows, but I have been loving the Tartlette in Bloom palette. It's just a gorgeous palette, so I have been using that, and just for like light washes of color and just a little bit of brown, you know? So for this look today, I'm actually going to be using these kind of pinky shades at the bottom because I feel like that just like screams summer to me. So I'm taking the lightest one called Sweetheart and applying that on the lid, just blending it up into the crease. I want something super quick and super natural, especially because I'm expecting a long commute and a long work day, and matte shades are the way to go, at least in my opinion, for those kind of days. Then I'm just going to take the one next to it, which is the color Rebel. It's actually more of a brown, like a chocolate brown, but I just like to place that, the outer portion, really just bringing it up to open my eye more. And then bringing kind of, if there's excess, I can bring it down this way. And lastly, the shade Funny Girl from this palette, which is in that bottom row as well. This one isn't the most pigmented shade ever, so I like to apply using my fingers, just kind of to the center of the lid, and then blend it. Because I just want like a little sheen, you know? And then I'm taking the lightest shade in the palette called Charmer, and that is what I'm going to use to highlight my brow bone. And like, I just really like to blend. That's why I love this brush. You can use it for like an entire eye look. This is the Real Techniques base shadow brush. And quick before I return to the rest of my eyes, I'm just gonna quick fill in my brows using my Maybelline Brow Precise pencil. It's almost done, but just filling in the sparse areas. I'm really trying to get my eyebrows done soon. And I want to get rid of most of the tail, so I'm really just filling in like the part that I want to be dark actually. And I'm bringing the arch up a bit because right now they're like really drooping. So then I'm just going to use my NYX Brow Gel to set that in place. Now, of course, as it is spring, summertime, I want kind of a glow. So I'm taking the MAC Harmony blush, which kind of doubles as a contour bronzer for me. And so I'm just taking that in the cheekbones, a little bit up on my cheek, up in the corners, temples. And I'm just applying this with the stippling brush, but really making sure to blend out and up. Then I'll be taking this Wet n Wild ColorIcon blush in the shade Mellow Wine, which I just picked up. It's a really nice pink red kind of shade, and I'm taking the smallest bit of that, putting it on the cheeks and blending. I think it matches really well with the shades that I'm using, and it gives like a pretty obvious flush. I accidentally got too close to the nose area, so don't do that. Naturally, I forgot, but I've been using a cream highlighter, just trying it out, and this is the Wet n Wild new highlighting stick in Marigold Round. I like this because it's kind of a neutral color. It's not gold, it's not white, it's a nice color. So I place that on my cheekbones and then blend it out with this. And it gives me enough without overpowering the whole look. Before I do the rest of my eyes and my lips, I am going to be setting with the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix Setting Spray. I recently just started using this and it is seriously a lifesaver. It makes my makeup last so much longer. I don't know if you're supposed to shake it, but I do just cause. And then you just spray it all over. And it's great because there's no alcohol in it as well, but it still seems to really prolong the wear of my makeup on my oily skin. But then I blend a little bit just to make everything more seamless and natural. I just like to keep the eyes this simple, so I'm literally just going to add a ton of mascara. I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Butterfly Mascara and just load it up. So a couple coats of mascara later and my eyes are complete. And then last for the lip, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in Kathryn. This is just, I normally use liquid lipstick. That's just my favorite formula, and this is a new one that I've recently gotten. So, well, actually yesterday. So I just know that I'm going to be using this a lot this month. I know this is a bit dark for the summer, springtime, but I think that it still works because there's like a little bit of pink, a little bit of red. It's just a perfect color, at least for me, and I think it pairs well with the eyes and the blush, and it just adds a little bit of a pop to the whole look. So yeah, this is my monthly makeup for the month of May. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a comment down below or like the video, share it with your friends, maybe check out some other videos on my channel, and I hope that I will see you in my next video. Bye guys!